going to be talking about the volume of cones. So cones and pyramids look very similar, but the difference is cones have a circular base. So very much like the problems we did earlier, we're going to have 1/3 times the area of the base times height. Now, when we have circles, the area of the base is going to be pi r squared. So in this case, the area of the base is already put into the equation. So let's look at this first one. We need our radius and we need our height to be able to plug into that equation. So we have radius, so our diameter all the way across is 16, which means half of that is going to be 8. 16 divided by 2 will give you 8. The height is 16. So to find volume, we have 1/3 pi times our radius of 8 squared times our height. And now what we can do is we can plug this into our calculator exactly as it is written right here. When we plug that into our calculator, we will get 1,072.33 meters cubed. All right, so we're going to follow those same steps on each of these problems. So our radius in this one is going to be 3. Our height is 10. So that means volume equals 1/3 pi times our radius of 3 squared times our height of 10. Plug that all in, we get a volume of 94.25 meters cubed. So let's look at 2 more. Alrighty, so our radius in this one is going to be 10. Our height is 20. So that means our volume equals 1/3 pi times our radius of 10 squared times our height of 20. Plug that all into our calculator. You guys should see a pattern here. Same thing every time, a lot of plugging it into our calculator. Our calculator is going to save us a bunch of time. It's going to save us from making simple math mistakes. It's a really, really good tool, especially on a test like this where time is of the essence. You need to get through the test quickly or else you run out of time to finish all of the questions. And the more questions you answer, the more opportunity you have to get right answers and pass. All right, so in this one, our radius is going to be half of this 2 feet, so that means it's 1 foot. And our height is 2 feet. So volume equals 1/3 pi times our radius of 1 squared times our height of 2. Plug that in, we get a volume of 2.09 feet cubed. So go ahead and try these next few on your own. So let's go ahead and look at these. So we're going to need our radius and our height. Our radius right here is 7 and a height of 14. So volume equals 1/3 pi times a radius of 7 squared times our height, which is 14. Plug all that in. We get a volume of 718.38 centimeters cubed. All right, so let's look at this one. We have a radius and our height. Our radius is going to be half of this whole diameter right here. So the radius is 2, height is 6. This right here, knowing the difference between a radius and a diameter, will save you from making mistakes every time in questions that involve circles. So let's plug all this in. Volume equals 1/3 pi times a radius of 2 squared times a height of 6. That should give you a volume of 25.13 inches cubed. All right, let's look at the last couple. So we need our radius and our height. Radius is half of this diameter, so it's going to be a radius of 4 with a height of 8. Volume equals 1/3 pi times our radius of 4 squared times a height of 8. Plug all that in, should get 134.04 yards cubed. All right, last one. We have a radius of 9 and a height of 18. Volume equals 1/3 pi times 9 squared times a height of 18. Plug all that in, we get a volume of 1,526.81 kilometers cubed. And that'll be it for cones.